Hey y'all, welcome to Mike Talks with Miss All. I am the host, Miss All. So glad you decided to join me again. And if this is your first time watching an episode of my podcast, this is your personal welcome. So glad to have you here viewing this conversation. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that we can stay connected. So today's conversation is deeply meaningful to me and so many other people. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I wanted to have a conversation around that topic, breast cancer awareness. So as you can see, I'm all pinked out in support of the month. And October, aka Breast Cancer Awareness Month, is a time to honor survivors, remember those who've lost their fight, and empower ourselves with knowledge about breast cancer and how it affects our lives and so many other people. So, whether you've personally been touched by breast cancer, you know someone who currently has breast cancer, or you know someone who survived breast cancer, or you're just someone who wants to take care of your own health, this conversation is for you. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is not just about wearing pink and participating in walks, but it's also about having conversations with loved ones and friends. And that's what we're going to do here today. So my hope is after you leave this conversation, you feel informed and empowered and encouraged to take action for yourself and the people that you love. So let's get started on this conversation. I want to give you a few statistics. In the United States, 1 in every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during her lifetime. That's a significant number of women. It is also one of the most common cancers among women. However, I want to stress that men can get breast cancer as well. Each year, about 2,700 men are diagnosed with breast cancer. So, breast cancer does not discriminate based on gender. It affects men, women, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. So, today, let's stop the myth that breast cancer is just a woman's issue. Men can also get breast cancer. So let's start by talking about some of the warning signs of breast cancer and what we can watch for. And men and women can have similar warning signs. So these will be signs for both genders. So some common signs that we need to be aware of are a lump or a thickening in the breast or chest area, unexplained changes in the size or shape of your breasts, skin changes like redness, dimpling, or a rash, changes in the nipple of a breast, and those changes can include discharge, scaling, pulling inward, and also persistent pain, swelling, or tenderness that doesn't go away. Although that's not a complete, an exhaustive list of things to watch for, but they're just some of the common things that you can be on the lookout for. And I know talking about breast cancer and breasts, and those are not always the most comfortable conversations, but they are needed. So let's now talk about things that everyone can do to help themselves recognize those warning signs as soon as possible. Because as we found out, time is of the essence when we are dealing with cancer. So, one of the things we can do is to know our bodies. And this can be done by performing monthly self check breast exams. This will allow you to become familiar with what's normal for your body and what's not normal for your body. And that way, if you notice something's off, and you always trust your instincts on that. If you're familiar with your body and what's normal for you, you'll be clued a bit quicker that something is off, and you'll have the time to go and get it checked out by your doctor. So, knowing your normal is a huge benefit. Another thing that can be done is for women to schedule and go to your annual mammogram appointments. Annual mammogram appointments usually start about around 40 years old. Now, if you have a family history of breast cancer, it may start earlier for you. Now, I am well aware and I have firsthand knowledge that having mammograms are not the most comfortable things that women experience. No one has ever enjoyed having their sensitive body part squished and smashed like a pancake between two plates. I know y'all having a flashback and probably had a shiver remembering your last mammogram. But on the real, I know it can be painful and very uncomfortable. But I tell myself, if a smash can save my life, go ahead and smash away. I'll get over it pretty quickly. And one thing that I do when I go to my annual mammogram appointments is I schedule the next year's appointment while I'm at the current year's appointment. So that way I don't have to remember to schedule it. I don't have to count on my memory and remember when the last one was. I just go ahead and schedule next year's appointment at that time. Now, whatever works for you with scheduling, do what works for you. The biggest thing about it is just making sure you do it annually. And men, although you don't have annual mammograms, you can do the monthly self checks. And don't dismiss a lump or a change in your chest area and discount it as a muscle or just kind of write it off. If it feels wrong, go ahead and get it checked off. There's also some checked out. There's also some lifestyle change choices that we can make that may help as well. And those include maintaining a healthy weight, staying physically active, limiting alcohol consumption, avoiding smoking, eating plenty of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, and learning your family history. That matters as well. Now, nothing says that lifestyle choices, self checks, mammograms will guarantee that you won't get breast cancer, but what it can do is help reduce the risk, help you find breast cancer earlier when it's the most treatable and the survival rate is the highest. Now, breast cancer is not just a medical journey, but it's also a mental journey. For those who've been diagnosed with breast cancer, hearing the words, "you have cancer," is life changing. From that point on, their lives will never be the same. And for the loved ones of those diagnosed, it's a trying time as well. I took some time recently and had personal conversations with some breast cancer survivors. And I asked them about their journeys and their thoughts and their feelings, both when they were diagnosed and while they were along on their healing journey. And I want to share with all of you some of the words and phrases they used to describe their emotions and feelings during those times. So when I read you these words and phrases, I want you to get someone on your mind that you know has been or are currently in a cancer journey. It may not even be breast cancer, but I want you to think about those people and just imagine their thoughts and feelings as I read you these words and phrases. So, some of the words and phrases they um, gave me were fear, scared of the unknown, out of control, mad, mad at the world, mad at life. I keep asking, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Hurt, confused, angry, curious, isolated, shocked, devastated, disbelief, sad. So think about the people that you had in your mind and think about each of these people facing a diagnosis with these emotions. And then the other thing I want to think about is that these people need supporters and they need caregivers. But as a supporter and caregiver, what do you do? Most of the time, you've never experienced anything like this as well. So I posed that same question to the people that I had the conversation with. I asked them, how would you explain to friends and loved ones how to support someone facing a cancer journey who in most cases are new to this and just as overwhelmed by it? So here's some words and phrases they gave for that. They said, listen, talk, encourage, pray, visit, speak life, be positive, be consistent, check on me regularly. Don't forget about me even when the treatment is done. All help is needed. Be available. Ask me directly how you can help me. Offer your expertise. Whatever gift or talent you have, offer them. Never think you have nothing to offer. You are needed in my journey. So keep all of those things in mind if you are ever a supporter or a caregiver for someone facing a cancer journey. Just remember, you are needed. They need you in whatever capacity you have to offer them. So let's take a few moments for reflection. Again, get someone in your mind or multiple people that are or who have faced breast cancer. And right now, I want you just to whisper their name and then say a prayer for them. A prayer of love, strength, and gratitude for their courage and for their lives. And after you do that, think of someone who has lost their fight and think of the memory of them that you hold in your heart and how their lives still inspire you and so many others to keep fighting and moving forward. So let's do that now. Let's just take a moment and think of those sets of people. You know, the fact that most of us can do that and have someone to even place in our minds means this is a significant thing. So thank you so much for sharing that moment. As I shared, this is a deeply meaningful topic for me, and I appreciate you sharing that moment with me. So before we end this conversation, I want to challenge and encourage everyone to do a few things before the end of this month. The first thing is, if you are a woman and you are over 40 years old and you haven't had a mammogram in 2025 and you don't have one scheduled by the end of the year, get one scheduled and then go to the appointment. The second thing is I want you to ask 3 women over 40 those same questions. If they haven't had a mammogram in 2025, and if they don't have one scheduled by the end of the year, encourage them to get that done. And men, you can start those monthly self-exams and talking to other men about breast cancer. Break that silence and stop that myth that it's only a woman's issue. And the fourth thing is, wear something pink, or a ribbon or something that could start a conversation with someone about breast cancer awareness and why it matters. You could just be somebody's encouragement. So here are a few other things to remember: that breast cancer is just not for October. It's about every month and protecting ourselves and our loved ones all year long. And that breast cancer is not always preventable, but early detection could save your life or the life of someone you love. I thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. I am Miss All. This has been Mike Talks. And if you know someone that this could help or encourage, please share this episode with them. Share my YouTube channel with them, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to it as well. Again, I hope this encouraged, empowered, and inspired you. So until next time, take care of your health, take care of one another, and never forget that health is your power. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.